Maya never dreamed of fairy tales. Love, to her, was not grand gestures or glass slippers. It was choice. A decision made every day. And today, she was making that choice. The mirror reflected her quiet strength, her dark skin glowing under golden light. Her gown, a cascade of lace and silk, draped around her like a whispered promise. But it was her eyes that told the true story, eyes that had seen doubt, faced judgment, yet never wavered. The bridal suite hummed with energy, laughter, last-minute adjustments, nervous excitement. But Maya stayed grounded, fingers grazing the embroidery of her gown. Her mother fastened the final strand of her necklace, squeezing her shoulders gently. "You look breathtaking," she whispered. Maya met her gaze in the mirror, a steady smile forming. "I feel ready." Across town, Daniel adjusted his cufflinks, nerves creeping in. Not about Maya, but about himself. A wheelchair was supposed to define him. The world had told him men like him weren't meant for love stories. But Maya had never seen him as limited. "You're not broken," he had told her once. "And if I had to, I'd spend my life proving that to you." His best man peeked into the room. "You okay?" Daniel ran a hand along the polished armrest of his wheelchair, exhaling deeply. Never better. The venue was alive with anticipation. Guests whispered. The orchestra played softly. And then, the grand wooden doors swung open. Daniel was waiting, and Maya was ready. The hall was radiant, draped in soft whites and golds, the air thick with the scent of fresh roses. Maya took slow, deliberate steps, her heartbeat steady, her father's arm firm around hers. "Are you ready?" he asked, voice laced with emotion. She exhaled, meeting Daniel's gaze at the altar. More than ever, their eyes locked and the world shrank. The guests, the music, the grandeur, it all faded into the background. This was their moment. The vows came effortlessly. "Daniel," Maya whispered, voice steady, "from the moment I met you, I knew love wasn't something to find. It was something to build. And I choose you, today and always." Daniel's fingers curled around hers. "Maya, the world told me love like this wasn't for me. But you saw me before I saw myself. I promise to love you, not perfectly, but truthfully, for as long as we're given." Silence fell, broken only by quiet sniffles. The officiant smiled warmly. "With the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife." Maya let out a soft laugh as Daniel lifted his hands to her face, wiping her tears before pulling her into the most tender kiss. Applause erupted, flowers rustled in the breeze, and love rewrote the rules. As the celebration unfolded, something shifted. A knowing glance between the best man and maid of honor. A whisper in the crowd. Then, a knock at the grand doors. A sharply dressed man entered, holding a small envelope. "For the bride?" Curious murmurs spread as Maya took the envelope, her fingers trembling slightly as she unfolded the letter inside. She read it once, then again. The words blurred, her breath catching in her throat. She turned to Daniel, searching his face. He already knew. The best man stepped forward. "You might want to follow me." Guided down a corridor she'd never seen before, Maya's heart pounded. What could possibly top the moment they'd just shared? Then the doors opened. A large screen flickered to life. Childhood images of Maya filled the space, her first performance, her college acceptance, the day she met Daniel. Her heart clenched. Then the screen shifted. A well-dressed man appeared, a publisher, a literary agent. "Maya, your words deserve to be read. Your love, your journey, it's extraordinary. And today, I'm proud to tell you that your manuscript has been accepted for publication." The letter in her hand confirmed it. It was real. She turned to Daniel, tears spilling down her cheeks. "You did this?" His voice was thick with emotion. "I wanted the world to know the woman I married today, and I wanted you to know that your voice matters." Maya collapsed into his arms, laughter and tears mixing in the warm evening air. This day had already been the most extraordinary of her life, and somehow it had become even more so. The screen flickered again. Another face appeared. For a split second, Maya's mind refused to process it. Then, her fingers went numb, the letter slipping from her grasp. The man in the video smiled gently. "Maya," he said, voice thick with emotion. "It's been too long." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Maya staggered forward, eyes locked on the screen. "Father!" A stunned silence fell. Tears streamed down her face as the image faded. Then, from behind the crowd, footsteps, real, measured, approaching. She turned, heart hammering against her ribs. And there he was. No screen, no distance. Her father, the man she thought she'd lost forever, stood only steps away. His voice broke. "I'm here, if you'll have me." For a moment, everything was still. Then Maya ran. She collided into him, arms locking around him, as if she could stop time itself. He held her just as tightly, his body shaking with quiet sobs. The crowd, caught in the raw, unfiltered emotion of the moment, could only watch in wonder. Daniel stood a few feet away, emotion brimming in his eyes. He had arranged this, not just for Maya, but for the part of her heart that had been missing for so long. The night air buzzed with joy. Music swelled, glasses clinked, laughter filled the space. The wedding had been beautiful, but now it was something more. A testament to love in all its forms. Romantic, familial, unbreakable. Maya turned to Daniel, her eyes still shimmering. "You knew." He reached into his pocket, smiling. "I wanted you to have everything." She laughed, setting her glass down. "You already have." Their foreheads pressed together, the world around them blurring into nothing but warmth. Across the courtyard, Maya's mother sat with old friends. Daniel's best man wiped away a tear, and guests raised their glasses in silent tribute to love that defied all expectations. As the city hummed with life, Maya and Daniel slipped away from the crowd, walking hand in hand through the quiet streets. "Still feels surreal, doesn't it?" Daniel murmured. Maya tilted her head skyward, smiling. "It does, but I wouldn't change a thing." Their love was never traditional, never ordinary. It was built in defiance of expectations, strengthened by challenges, and sealed with something deeper than mere vows. Daniel squeezed her hand. "What now?" Maya's smile widened. "Everything." And together, they stepped forward into their next chapter.